Gentlemen, here are some reasons why many modern Western women nowadays are not fit to be a wife. Number one, they are not self-aware, meaning they don't care what trend is going viral on social media. They are going to follow that trend. They don't even care if you agree to that trend or if you don't. They don't care what kind of consequence that trend may have on their relationship. Number two, and this is a big one, they don't respect a man. They don't appreciate a man. Bottom line, many of them don't even care about a man and they are way too selfish. Tell me if this is true or not. They don't want to contribute much to the relationship, but they do have a whole lot of way too high expectations on you as a man and the relationship overall. Many of these women get too bored too quick, meaning if the woman feels like she doesn't get the attention that she deserves, she will go find it elsewhere. She will go chill with her work husband. She will DM that guy that has been sitting in her DMs for months, or she may even chill with the person who has cashed at her some money before. Let that sink in. This is another big one. Women think that catering to an average man is degrading. So they don't want to deal with an average man and think that they are way too good for one. Another thing that is very common is the fact that a lot of modern Western women believe that their looks is the only thing that they need to bring to the table. I mean, there are even memes all over the internet where you have the caption which says, "What do you bring to the table?" And the woman who actually films herself turns around, puts her butt on the table and says, "That's all I'm bringing to the table, baby, and that's all you should ever request from me." How crazy is this? So let's break everything down that I just mentioned, the reason why many modern Western women are not fit to be wives nowadays, and you let me know if you agree with me or if you don't. But before we get into the video, guys, I wanted to give you the chance to maybe share your experience that you had with a woman that you were with or with a woman that you currently are with. Feel free to send me an email to brooksbooking@yahoo.com and I will give you some free relationship advice here on YouTube. And of course, everything is highly confidential. You can trust me. I will not forward the email. There will not be any screenshots uploaded anywhere. No names will be published anywhere. I will not mention anything. So if you are out there and you would like to have my opinion or my advice on your current situation or something that had happened to you in the past, feel free to send me an email, like I said, to brooksbooking@yahoo.com. I will also mention the email in the description to this video, but for now, let's dive into the reasons that I just mentioned. Let's go. Reason number one, women are not self-aware anymore and they live for social media and want to follow every trend. I mean, how many times do we actually see it? We see women in front of the camera doing whatever they got to do to get those likes, to get that validation, and then you would see the man in the background just looking completely annoyed. So if you are with a woman who cares about her cell phone more than she cares about you, who cares about her videos, her likes, and her views more than she cares about spending quality time with you, then my dear gentlemen, let me tell you, that phone has taken over that woman's mind and you have no space in her mind or her heart, because social media has a big impact on women. Why? Because us women are easier to be manipulated than men. Yes, I said it. I don't need no boss babe in the comment section telling me or trying to convince me that it's not like that. It is like that. You know it and I know it. We can even look at how women look nowadays. They all look the same. Many of them want to look like a Kardashian. It's a fact. It starts with the looks. It starts with the attitude. It starts with the way they speak. A lot of them want to be like Sexy Red. It starts with the ratchetness in their voice and in their behavior. Now, does that show you that this woman is actually aware of herself? If women nowadays would be self-aware, they would not just sit there, look at their phones all day, and then actually become the people that they are looking at. Women nowadays are not solution-oriented. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. How many women are in a relationship and who cannot wait for their man to come home so she can start criticizing him, complaining at him, and comparing him to men that she knows of? Other men who make more money, other men who spend more time with their spouses, with their girlfriends. All of these things, the 3 C's, remember, criticizing, comparing, and complaining. If you experience that in your relationship, but the woman is not willing to find a solution for whatever problem she has, meaning she is not willing to sit down with you and have a basic adult conversation with you about whatever it makes her feel uncomfortable, then she is no wifey material. Because the things that I have just mentioned, they happen on an everyday basis. And imagine there is a crisis that's actually taking place. Can you actually count on a woman like that? Let me know. I heard a quote the other day and I absolutely agree with it. Listen to this. A good partner will recognize your skills and help you strengthen those skills. A bad partner will recognize your errors and focus on them. How true is that? Now you have both scenarios, but two completely different outcomes for the relationship. Next one, it is really not hard finding a woman with a big list of her requirements when it comes to the man of her dreams. Yes, honey, with that list, you will always be looking for the man of your dreams because it will always stay a dream. Let's get real. Let's just look at a couple of these requirements. He has to make 6 figures. He has to be 6 feet tall. He has to have 6 inches. Okay, great. He has to have a network and he has to be well known, not allowed to follow other girls on social media or like their content. You already know the list better than I do. But is a man allowed to ask that woman for a meal? Is a man allowed to ask that woman for some money without her getting on the internet and exposing that man to be the bum of the century? Gentlemen, if you cannot be you, who you are, with the woman that you are interested in, right from the beginning, if you have to pretend like you are somebody else just so she can like you, you will never feel comfortable in that relationship or with that woman. And don't you even think about marrying that woman, because the moment you behave differently than she has expected you to behave, or the way she already knows how you are going to behave, that is the moment where she's going to feel like you have changed on her. When really all the time, you were changed as it is. You were not being yourself. You were saying no to yourself and yes to everything that the woman is requesting out of you. Stay true to yourself and you make sure you lay down the laws to the woman of the do's and the don'ts right from the beginning. If she doesn't agree, next. A woman can only be feminine if the man is wealthy. That right there makes no sense. If you ever hear a woman saying that to you, make sure you turn around, close the doors, lock them, and then just pull off. Because a woman is either feminine or not. She cannot turn her femininity on and off like a light switch. It doesn't matter. And if a woman feels like catering to a blue-collar job-having man, catering to an average man is degrading to her, she should maybe check her feed on Instagram and see how she's portraying herself on the internet. Because a lot of times these women are actually degrading themselves by looking like full-time hookers on Instagram. But I really don't want to get into that because it feels like talking to you guys is way more easier than talking to some women who call me a pick-me anyway. So let's go back to women catering to average men. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. A man's income has absolutely nothing to do with the woman's femininity. Either that woman is going to enjoy the fact that she's at home cooking a meal to an average man because she loves that man and not his income, then that's going to get done with no questions asked. And if she's with a man that makes a lot of money, she will find ways to be feminine, but those ways are really going to just fade away because the only way these women know how to be feminine is using their sexuality. But once that sexuality is gone, they get older and, they start hitting the wall, then there's really nothing they can bring to the table anymore. But then it's going to be kind of too late. So if you are dealing with a woman who's telling you this, you need to know that it's time to run. They don't appreciate a man. They don't respect a man. Let's start with the basic respect. Kevin Samuels always said this and it got burnt into my brain. If a woman can have some respect for her supervisor, why can't she not come home and have the same respect, show the same amount of respect to her man that she is with? Who are we trying to impress here, really? Are we trying to impress our supervisor just because we're trying to get paid? Of course, we're all trying to do our job, but being a fit partner is also a job. See, I regularly check in with my husband and I ask him about my performance in certain situations and where he believes I can optimize my behavior. I am not perfect. We all need to learn. And being married is a whole different story than dating or just being in a relationship. This is the life process. And the ways a woman can show respect to her man comes in so many different shades. Even the way a woman dresses. If she dresses too revealing and you actually feel uncomfortable with the fact that strange men can just look at your woman, then you need to talk about that. The way she shows herself on social media, it's the same thing. If she shows herself to random men and she has likes and comments under her pictures, and you are, disgusted by it, because a lot of men really don't like it. And this has nothing to do with you being insecure, gentlemen. Don't ever have somebody tell you, especially not a delusional woman, that you are insecure and jealous because she gets likes and comments from other men. Don't let them gaslight you like that. That is absolutely not true. A woman has no business showing her ass, showing her goodies to other men online. That's just the way it is. The way she talks to you, the way she looks at you, the way she raises her voice or not while you guys are talking, or maybe even having a heated debate. The way she is acting around your friends or her friends. Is she comparing you? Is she cutting you off? Is she throwing things at you? Or is she even getting loud with you in public? These are all signs that the woman does not show any respect. She's being disrespectful. She thinks that she's stronger than you just because of the simple fact that she screams and you may not. But that, my dear gentlemen, is highly disrespectful. So if you find your woman doing these things that I just mentioned, you may want to sit down and have a conversation with her. But I'm also going to let you know that these conversations are going to be very, very uncomfortable because you never laid down the laws from the beginning. If you're with a woman and she barely acknowledges what you are doing for her, and she thinks that whatever you are doing, putting in all that effort, paying for everything, is just normal, no, my dear friend, it is not. The problem with that type of attitude that woman brings to the table is the fact that once she is getting used to that type of treatment, that's the only thing that she will expect. And the moment you don't bow down to her, the moment she opens up her princess eyes in the morning, you are going to be no good. And trust me when I tell you, women have no problem turning off that switch and going to some other guy that has more money than you, that treats her better than you. That's at least what these women be thinking. But here is the thing. Don't ever think it's okay for a woman not to contribute anything to the relationship. Women think that they are boss babes because they are paying bills, doing basic adult things, right? So why is it never good enough if the man does the same exact thing? Men go to work, they pay their bills. But no, men doing basic adult activities is never good enough. For a woman who calls herself a boss babe just because she pays her own cell phone bill, she wants to have a man who makes 6 figures. But they don't acknowledge the fact that a man being loyal is something a woman needs to be thankful for. A man who is willing to go out there every single day and work his behind off so he can come home to a cooked meal, that woman needs to be thankful for that man. And that's another thing that I want to talk about. Women nowadays don't know how to be grateful, don't know how to appreciate anything. I feel so bad for women like that because they are so lucky to have their man by their side, but they don't know how to treat that man. They don't know how to treat a man. And I will not accept anybody in the comment section saying that, oh yes, once the daily routine kicks in, of course, we're going to get used to one another and it's going to be hectic. We don't have time to say thank you to one another and be grateful. No, I will not accept that because out of one reason. People have all this time to be on social media. Check your screen time. Check how many hours you have been on social media today. You're trying to tell me that you don't have 5 to 10 minutes to sit down with your partner and tell them how grateful you are for them? No, there are absolutely no excuses. People's priorities are effed up. Effed up, and that is why so many relationships are absolutely going to shit. You know what? People don't deserve any better. If they don't know how to treat one another, especially in hectic days like these, you don't deserve any better. Gentlemen, some ladies really ain't poop. Also, I want to take my time to say thank you to all of the women who are supporting their men, especially if you are in a long distance relationship. I know what it means. I wish you guys all the strength, all the best, and all the luck. And also, I would like to say thank you to all men out there who are making a difference in the world every single day, who are going out there, who are willing to fight for people's lives, who are willing to work all these hours, come home, and just chill with the family. These things really need to be said because we don't appreciate these things enough. You know, another thing that I highly disagree with as well. You know, Forbes magazines are always showing us the man of the year, the woman of the year. What about the firefighters? What about doctors? What about nurses? What about people who really make a difference in people's lives? But I don't want to digress here. Gentlemen, I really would like to create a platform for you guys to be able to voice your opinion and your experiences. You know, as I mentioned in the video earlier, feel free to send me an email to brooksbooking@yahoo.com if you want to share your experience that you had with a woman that you were with, or if you want my advice or my opinion. Once again, I promise you guys, everything will be highly confidential. None of your personal information will be shared anywhere. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Guys, I really appreciate every one of you being here. Those who subscribe to my channel lately, thank you so much for that. Share this video with your friends, discuss it with family members, try to convince the woman that you are with that she's not always right. And please use this video for educational purposes only, and it's never too late to make a change for the better. So leave a comment, leave a like. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for more content. Until then, much love, light, and peace.